Have you gone on more than one date in the same day? Have you ever met fuckboys on the app? It was horrible. That guy was nothing like what he had written on his profile. हम लड़के ना बड़े भावनाओं में बह जाती. Youngest and oldest guy you've ever dated. Hi guys, what's up? It's me Aarti. Welcome to a brand new video on this channel. And after a very long time, I'm doing one of those very fun, juicy, spicy Q&As here. So मैंने अपने Instagram पे तुम लोगों से कहा कि send me some really juicy questions about dating generally और ask me any particular questions about my dating life, my online dating experiences और मैं यहाँ पे आकर उनका जवाब दूंगी. And that's exactly what I'm going to do here today. मेरी माँ का फोन मैंने ले लिया है जिसमें सारे सवाल है. If you enjoy this kind of content, stick around और future में ऐसे और videos देखना चाहते हो, consider hitting the subscribe button and the bell icon next to it. Where is it? Where is the subscribe button? Why am I forgetting? Wherever it is, hit it. पहला सवाल है biggest put off in a date for you. My biggest put off is when a guy starts bragging. मुझे bragging इतना mood off हो जाता है ना when somebody just like this whole show of bragging vibe या फिर or if somebody is just full of themselves, they just can't stop talking about themselves. Like first date में, this is the first thing that is really like for me. Have you gone on more than one date in the same day? No. मतलब इतना वक्त और इतनी एनर्जी दोनों नहीं है मेरे पास जिंदगी में बच्चों. I am 33, but even when I started using dating apps, I think I was 27. Yeah, I was 27 जब I got introduced to the apps. No, I used to be one of those people who would take weeks and months to chat before meeting a person. तो इतना नहीं. Maybe if I was on the apps in my early 20s, I would have. Have you uploaded pics without filters? 100% yes. ठीक है, तो Instagram stories वोरीज में और कभी कभी post में filters are okay, but dating apps पे I feel it's a big no-no to upload pictures with filters क्योंकि फोटोज के जरिए ही तुम किसी को जान रहे हो. तो मैं तो मेरे जितने भी डेटिंग एप्स के हमेशा पिक्चर्स रहे हैं, I've always been the ones without filter because I want them to know who I am, what I look like. And similarly, if somebody is trying to hide how they look and all, I find it a little shady. Like I wouldn't like then try to match with that person. So I want to know what a person looks like, and even I'll show what I look like. What would you say to people on Tinder who are married or in a relationship but just there to meet new people? Find new ways to meet people, guys. Tinder, Bumble and Hinge are not your ways to socialize and find new friends. Like I know that there are a couple of people जब मैं भी apps पे थी, I have encountered people who are married who are just there to chat with people, and I never understood the concept. I was like, what? Like go out, socialize, go to parties, go to bars, pubs and meet new people there. It's weird to be on dating apps, according to me. What's the one thing in a guy that turns you on? So physically, I think it's the stubble, this like light beard. I really like it. But if you ask personality wise an aspect, I think it's somebody's ability to show their imperfect selves to another person and to just like talk about your wounds and hurts in a very unfiltered way and in just a very human way rather than masking it up and being very macho and all about it. Somebody who's very all heart about who they are completely, that human side that turns me on. Yeah. Is hooking up through dating apps so wrong? No man, what is right and wrong? To be honest, one person's right is another person's wrong. So to each their own. तो तुम्हारे लिए क्या सही है क्या गलत है तुम खुद डिसाइड करो. दूसरों के ऊपर और दूसरों के ओपिनियंस पे मत रिलाई करो कि उन्हें क्या सही गलत लगता है. एंड ऑल्सो बहुत सारी चीजें जो हमें सही या गलत लगती है ना, एटलीस्ट टिल अ पर्टिकुलर एज, टिल वी हैवंट स्टार्टेड अनलर्निंग, इज एवरीथिंग दैट हमने बचपन में दूसरों को बोलते हुए सीखा है. टू बी ऑनेस्ट, वो हमारे ओपिनियंस नहीं होते. हमारे आसपास हमने लोगों को जिस तरह से बात करते हुए सुना बचपन में, वी पिक अप दोज ओपिनियंस एज वी ग्रो अप. सो to be honest, there's no right or wrong. If somebody enjoys it and wants to, go ahead and experience it, then why not? I mean, they should go ahead and do it. And at the same time, if somebody's uncomfortable about doing it and they're not fully sure, then they should skip it. All I'm trying to say is, you should know, are you in for this or not? What is the red flag you look for in your first date? Okay, so I don't really go on dates looking for red flags, but एक चीज अगर हो गई तो I'm like, oh God, no. So how does the person talk about other people? Not just their exes. ऐसे बहुत लोग कहते हैं कि how is the guy or girl talking about their exes says a lot about them, which is 100% true. But how do they talk about everybody in general? Even their life. How do they talk about their family, their friends, people around them? Do they appreciate people around them, or are they always complaining and cribbing and judging? That gives you a lot of perspective about how the person thinks, and I think that's what I pay attention to. Next one is, which was your shortest date? Oh my god. Okay, so my shortest date is just this one date. I remember very clearly. I'd gone to meet this. So one of the few times I did this, that I did not chat enough with a person, okay? There was this guy from Delhi who was just visiting Mumbai over the weekend, and we chatted, and he's like, you know what, I'm leaving tomorrow, why don't we meet today evening? And I don't generally do it, but I'm also a person of impulse, okay? I was like, why not? Let's just go. So I went. I want to cut the long story short. It was one of the most disastrous dates of my life. He was so obnoxious, that in half an hour हम लोग कॉफी पे मिले थे. जैसे ही मैंने कॉफी ऑर्डर की, उसके आधे घंटे के अंदर मैंने अपनी उबर बुक कर ली थी. आई टोल्ड हिम, यू नो व्हाट, माय कैब इज कमिंग, आई हैव टू गो. एंड इवन ही लेफ्ट एंड वी नेवर चैटेड आफ्टर दैट. It was horrible. That guy was nothing like what he had written on his profile. He was a douchebag. Don't you feel scared of getting hurt? How do you know he's the right one for you? Of course I'm fucking scared of getting hurt. And I feel जैसे you grow older, I feel every year तुम्हारा fear of getting hurt only बढ़ता है. ऐसा, at least from my experience, it might be different for different people. But then you have no other option. अगर तुम्हें, if you want love, then you'll have to go out there, meet people, get hurt, because क्या option क्या है? Guarantees तो है नहीं life में. And how do you know if he's right for you? You can never know until you have met somebody enough number of times, until you get to know them in the process, or while you get to know them in the process, you realize most of them are not right for you. So it is what it is. How many genuine guys have you found on apps? You know what? I have to say this. A lot of people have these notions about dating apps. It's only full of people who want to hook up and this and that. And also, not like that's a bad thing, but you know, how you approach it is what makes you different from the other people. But anyway, the point is, I have met some amazing people through the apps, especially the first 2 years में, क्योंकि तब मुझे थोड़ा और patience भी था to deal with people. अभी over the years that patience has become very less. But I met some really amazing guys, yeah, like people who I would be like really good friends with in my life. A couple of them I'm still in touch with, just that we were not on the same page. You know, when we met, somebody was going through something, I was going through something, so the timing or whatever never matched, but there were some amazing people and I'm glad that I met them. Youngest and oldest guy you've ever dated? Oldest? Up to 3 years older, I think. 3 to 4 years actually, yeah, and that was a one-off. Somebody much older than me, mujhse, I've never had that encounter, and I also don't get drawn to. Maybe somebody who's closer to my age, or maybe younger. Look at me doing this. Younger, I think it was 5 years younger. Yeah, this one person, and you can't even call it dated. Kind of like seeing each other. This whole dating terminology, you know. So yeah, it wasn't dating. It was more of seeing. Have you walked out of a date midway? If yes, why? No. You know what? And मैं अपनी तारीफ नहीं कर रही हूँ, but I'm just this polite person for no reason at all, and which bites me in my own ass. I can't do things like just cut people off while they're talking and leave, and just make up a reason and leave. I can't, even if the date has been boring as f. मतलब मुझे याद है एक बार मैं एक डेट पे थी, और it was the most boring date of my life. I can't tell you what a torture that date was. वो 3 घंटे चली, और I couldn't get it in me to tell that guy, you know what, let's leave, I'm done. I couldn't. I am like that, so I'm not yet done it, yeah. And also 3 घंटे मुझे इसलिए बैठना पड़ा because हम लोग डिनर पे मिलने गए थे. उसके बाद मैंने कसम खा ली कि मैं फर्स्ट डेट पे किसी के साथ डिनर पे नहीं जाऊंगी. कॉफी, अगर ज्यादा बात नहीं हुई है मैसेजेस पे, कॉल्स पे, तो नो डिनर, इट्स ओनली कॉफी. 3 qualities in your ideal man. You know what? So if you had asked me this question few years ago in my mid-20s or late 20s, I would have said the same kind of things, like, you know, stubborn and funny and somebody who can have conversations, which is all still true. But I think you get a little more perspective on what you want as you grow older. You get much clearer, and I feel for me now it is somebody who values their families and relationships just as much as they value their work and career goals. Somebody who's emotionally intelligent and a person that understands who you are and accepts you for who you are. You know, sometimes people can really passionately and deeply love you but not understand you, and that is a very painful situation to be in. I've been in that situation where there was so much love, but then, you know, that love is also more like this hot chemistry and passion more than love. But there was no understanding of what the other person is, what do they need, what do they want. So yeah, I feel that these 3 things are very important. Next one is, have you ever met fuckboys on the app? What question is this? Of course I have. I have met a lot of them, and not met in person, like encountered a lot of fuckboys on the apps. तो कुछ को तो तुम वहीं से dodge कर देते हो, फिर वो tricky वाले आते हैं who are very like smooth in their conversations and in their ways, and you don't figure it out until you've met few times and you're like, oh अच्छा इन्हें तो कुछ और चाहिए था. So yeah, of course I've met fuckboys, and एक तो I really appreciate when somebody is in that zone in their life where they are just there to have fun, to have casual relationships. अरे बोल के बताओ ना यार. I mean, nobody cares nowadays. Just say it and get done with it. But then people who don't tell you and they're there only for casual shit, and then you figure it out as you go and as you meet them, it's like a huge waste of your time. So that's something that I don't appreciate. But धीरे now I can kind of figure people. And the last one is, what is one dating advice for girls in their 20s? Wow, from all these years that I have been on the dating apps, and I'm talking about this whole modern day dating, right? Where you meet somebody through apps, or somebody, friends set you up with somebody, or somebody asks you out in college or whatever. I feel one big advice that I would give you is, whatever you're doing, okay? Make sure it's 100% yes from within you. चाहे जो भी तुम कर रहे हो, whether it's saying yes to going on a date, whether it's asking a guy out, whether it's making the first move, whether it's kissing, whether it's having sex, whatever it is, जो भी तुम करने वाले हो, make sure you 100% are convinced about doing it yourself. Don't do anything under pressure, under obligation कि oh my god, if I say no, what if the guy gets irritated of me, or what if he leaves me, and all those kind of thoughts. Don't have. Be very how do I say it, fierce about drawing your boundaries. I feel a lot of girls don't do this enough. You're not comfortable expressing what you need. Sometimes तुम लोग pressure में आके कुछ चीजें कर देते हो, या you give in if it's, and especially नए dating situations तो छोड़ो, if it's somebody who you've been dating for a while, for a few months or a year or two, then pressure में आके you just give in to their demands. Don't do it. These are things that eat you up later. And if you're not feeling sure, if there are mixed feelings, don't do it. Voice it out. Tell them if they're not ready to understand that right there is a red flag. And the second thing that I want to say is, we girls know, हम लड़के ना बड़े भावनाओं में बह जाती है. अब मैं लड़कियों की बात करूँ, कुछ लड़के भी हो सकते हैं. अगर हम किसी नए बंदे को मिलते हैं, हमें वो पसंद आने लगता है. Even when they're doing the bare minimum, they're doing literally nothing, और हमें वो पसंद आने लगता है for whatever reasons. हम लोग ना भावनाओं में बह के बहुत सारी चीजें करने लग जाते हैं उनके लिए. Whether it's investing a lot of time and thought in them and giving them a lot of our time, or just doing gestures for them, putting in so much energy into them. And it's all good. As much as I'm one of those people who's all for express your feelings and this and that and everything, but after a particular time, अगर वहां से कुछ नहीं आ रहा है, तो you have to stop pouring out from your cup endlessly when the other person is not being responsive. Because at the end of the day, this makes you feel spent, and it kind of makes you feel empty. So you have to wait. I mean, I know, I understand the excitement. I have been there, and I still think I'm that person. I mean, I can't, when I feel something, it's on my face. I can't hide it. So I understand that, but somewhere we have to, ये inner control हमें exercise करना पड़ेगा if you want to be less hurt in the future. So wait for them to show also something. Wait for some reciprocity. That's the word, yeah. And then go ahead and put more work. If it's not coming, step back. Put your energy somewhere else. Put it into yourself. Best. So yeah, those are the two things that I'd like to tell you all. And that's it. That's the end of this video. If you have any friends who enjoy this kind of content, share this video with them. And if love and dating kind of conversations are your thing, you should totally check out my podcast. Didn't you know my brand new podcast, Kafi Single, is now live on Audible? So I'm going to put some episode links below in the video description. You can go listen to it whenever you all want. We have spoken about love and dating with lots of single people, over 24 episodes on the podcast. And yeah, I think you'll enjoy the conversation if you enjoyed this video. Future में मेरे channel पर ऐसा content देखना चाहते हो, please hit the subscribe button and the bell icon, and I'll see you guys soon. Bye bye.